Hello people and welcome to another video. This is of course Kerbal Space Program. I'm going to try and inject more humour than the last video into this. I'm going to start by running you through the basics of how I build a ship. Like, say I was just building a small ship, fuel tank. I would just start basically small ship like that. Find the biggest engine you can stick on it. I also stick silly stuff like this on because I feel like it. I start with a small ship. I stick stuff like that on because I'm terrible at flight, and I'm not sure. I don't. Someone can correct me in the comments. I don't think that they have joystick support yet, because that would be great. This is basically me trying to make it more realistic. If you're wondering why I'm sticking parachutes on something I'm ejecting. I'm not sure about doing space centers and all. I would need to look that up. I used to have someone I used to go to for all this stuff. Can't find them anymore. But that means I'm still not sure about doing. No propulsion. Now, I'm not sure. I think this game is still counted as early access. But, as I said with. What game was it? As I said on another video I haven't released, actually I was saying it to a friend the other day. Yes, I have friends. Booty people who say people on the internet who do these videos have no friends. There's certain games like this, like Kerbal Space Program for example. No, that's copyrighted. They feel more polished than some games that are out on the retail market released by big companies. One game that everyone will probably disagree is Saints Row 4. It doesn't feel complete in the fact it feels just Saints Row 3. I'm trying to tame myself down a little tiny bit because I'm going to be aware, even though I prefer that to be only adults, there are going to be kids watching. Structural. Launch stability. I'm not 100% worried because they are solid boosters. I might actually be better doing that system when they're sitting on the boosters. This will get me into space without a doubt. Now, time to send them to their death. It's one thing I always forget to do, and it's buggered up so many missions. And anyone that's with me will agree. Let's see how this works. Now, as I say, this will be almost guaranteed to get me into space. This was a great game for video players on YouTube too, because there's a lot of time you're doing absolutely buck all. I do love there's some features been added since the last time I really played it, in that you can now recover stuff like that. You don't have like 50 million flights on record. I think we may have a decoupling issue. Right, we have a decoupling issue, which means basically we're fucked. See, there's a good chance that will just... See, the parachute should actually be helping too. What that means is I have no power. So I'm just waiting for my person to come back down. Technically, by definition, I'm in space. By scientific definition, I don't need to be out of the atmosphere to be in space. But I could still cross that little boundary. I'm just hoping that parachute will deploy. I think we've no power for doing anything. Always nice. And we're coming down. Maybe there's not enough atmosphere at that height. They seem to have introduced a minimum atmosphere for the parachute. But we should get some sort of atmosphere soon. I hope maybe at a certain height it automatically deploys. Maybe it doesn't deploy too high up because of ablation. That's not the proper term, just... Ablation is the... Ablation, yeah. Ablation is a term, basically... That is the process of the atmosphere breaking down meteorites in the atmosphere. Do you know why you say you like shooting stars or meteorites breaking up and burning up? That's ablation. This channel is now educational. Yay, we're landing. We will survive! This is what ablation does, but asteroids, meteorites, whatever you want to call them, someone will have a proper technical term in the comments eventually when I become famous. It basically is that pressure rips the meteorites apart and they get burned to a crisp in extreme temperatures. Part of the reason is because very few things actually come down straight like this. Usually they skirt the atmosphere, or they're coming at a too gentle an angle, so by the time they've reached the inner atmosphere, they're just too small to cause any damage. The other point is how much of the Earth is actually just round. Sorry, not round on water. It would be like Russia was so rare, where people actually get hit by meteorites. I love that little button. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone was killed in Russia. I think people were injured, but people were not killed. And people with good courage. But let's look to see how we can improve this. Right, we need to fix the decouplers. They need to decouple, basically. Because if they're not decoupling, we're in trouble. Maybe if I separate them out more. Because that's what stopped me reaching space last time. I take a very Jeremy Clarkson approach to space travel. Just power. Sorry, just knocked. I have a pack of beer back there. For a video, I want to trial doing a drunk video. I'm not sure whether it will ever be released. Now I know the problem. The problem with solid fuel boosters, the one problem I will say, they just don't do turning off. They burn until there's nothing left. I've worked out that they're not actually sitting in the couplers. So let's land. Look at our reports. And let's see if the speedy bullet, did I call it? I'll say the name in a second anyway. Let's see if there were any parts destroyed. That was destroyed. Let's just pretend that never ever happened, okay? So I had to balance it out. I had to mount them on the couplers, but I also have to get them green. All about the environment, brah. I'm also trying to get them as low down the ground as possible so they don't mess my centre of gravity up. Right, I'm just gonna assume that's gonna work. Speedy Bullet, not the most inventive name. Wait until you see the next incarnation, which will be the Drunk Bullet. Which I'll just drop as many rockets as I can while being stable. And just hope for the best. I love solid fuel boosters, they just work. Like the problem with using liquid fuel, although it's quite a bit more powerful and you can just cut it off if you need to. Problem with liquid fuel is it needs oxidizer and all. Right, we had technical issues there. Abort. Maybe I should separate the lighting of one with the separation of the other. Fixed one problem, caused another. Welcome to my life. Right, I'm speeding up far too much. He's gonna die. Because he needs far more time to slow that right down. Collided. So how else could I do this? I could stick a radial decoupler there. Oh, that's annoying too, because that was just above its thing. I wonder will eventually will it have a store area where you have to worry about budget and stuff. I really hope they keep this mode where you can just mess around, because it's really good to learn what goes well and what doesn't. I'm going to try a different method of decoupling because that's not working. It's just not. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's going to have less power, but hopefully it'll work. I'm not going to worry about parachutes and being night and green and all. Hopefully that hole can hold just long enough. It's limiting my speed, as you can see. It needs stability reinforcements. And because they're pressed right up against each other, they're overheating. But I think they'll run out of fuel first. I hope. Was that a linkage failure? Because it's not rattling anymore. Maybe it fixed itself. Stuff does that, people. It fixes itself. Or it breaks in such a way it works better. Right. Technical issues. That's an explosion, people. That's a coupler, that's why. Gonna skip all that because you know what happens, he dies. I'd love you get at times they wrap cowling round that comes off. I'm pretty happy with that order. I'm gonna see about sciencey stuff. Power. I'm gonna possibly see about sticking batteries on this to keep those going. Because, and I also have to look at reinforcements down here. Just make sure that's above the thing. That should keep it going. What else can I do? Under this caliber, you're actually better. Now, reinforcements down here. Structure. I'm going to try and reinforce as much as I can. Because if this does not work out, we're screwed. Anyway. Well, I'm not sure how long I've been recording. This is possibly my last one. I will check the footage time after this. I should get into talking more. These early videos, as I said earlier, will probably be terrible. Yeah, that's working better. Reinforcements worked. The idea is to make it aerodynamic. Because the hardest part of making a spaceship is making one that'll get out of the atmosphere. Because once you're out of the atmosphere, all you have to worry about is planet's gravity. I've one Kerbal well out that I just want to shut off the life support, but it won't let me. They probably will introduce an error at some point, but I've worked out you sort of need to break the 500 mark at least to break the atmosphere. I think I'm going to do it. I wonder could I get away with a quad coupler before them bad boys. I'll try to attack to the 1,000 mark, but... Right, I'm going to break out the atmosphere. I know I shouldn't be editing this in flight, but... I'm in space! Let's land in space. Let's not. How am I doing for electric, actually? I have tons! Stuck enough batteries in there, they... Actually, not enough electricity. That's nice, I didn't know about that. Well, he's slowing down, so let's... There's no point throttling it up because... That's him coming down now. Let's see, is it actually taken from those batteries? It doesn't seem to be. Then maybe just there's so many in there, it's just take us so little at a time. Right, we've pumped some of that power into the parachute. That should slow us down enough. Those can handle maximum 12, I think, meters a second. I need to watch how don't burn up coming into the atmosphere. Like that. That's why meteorites... That's one of the many reasons meteorites rarely hit. I might have to... The final stages may be actually just adding more parachutes. Getting one that'll go to the moon, I would need to do research. I wonder if I can make this thing properly land. Even the micro legs could handle that landing. There, we're landed. What I should have probably done was deployed them a little earlier, as soon as I knew. So the other thing I need to do with this one is... Do I need to add more parachutes? Possibly. I'm going to add another parachute there. On one... There. That looks legit. Yep, that's legit. Totes legit. Sorry if I sound like a douchebag. Now let's look at this. See. Right, it decouples and then it... Along with the decoupling... 3 parachutes deploy. So we'd make it 6 just to be secure. Now which parachute is that? I love this feature because you can tell which parachute you're working with. I actually want the decoupling to separate it out of the 4 parachutes should be with the decoupling. I would love if I could fit a little electric engine there. Like a little solar powered engine. I don't like that. To me sounds like a jet engine. And jet engines aren't what I'm looking for because, although amazing, jet engines just, once you reach space, they cut out. Which is annoying because they're the most powerful engines there. Like, I think there's a jet engine there that's 1500 or something. What's that one? Where's a more powerful jet engine? The exception of that because that's brand new. No, I had jet engine. I forget which one it is. It's possibly. It's that one. That'll get you up, no problem. But as soon as you reach space, that thing's gone. That thing is just ridiculously powerful for the amount of fuel it burns. Anyway, just do a final test. Save this. I love that works both ways. I'm sure the last stage is I wish you could add gears to the stages because I'd love just to hit space to do the gears. Next time, yes, there will be next time. I will experiment with quad couplers. And maybe able to get away with because the one thing with the solid rocket boosters, they're quite thin. 1, 2, 3, launch. There's a little bit of extra weight that may affect this launch, but we got well in the space. It's just I'm not good at building ships that can sustain themselves in space. This seems a lot more stable than it was before. Suppose it's bad time to check and that's the right decoupler. I think possibly got hit by my thrust. I don't like to leave it too far in between the thrusts. I love they actually made this game very realistic in some ways, in that you can see as I go into different levels of atmosphere, the thrust just goes mad. I mean, that's absolutely mental, the amount of thrust there. And I'm nearly in space. I at one point had a ship, I'm not sure if I ever saved it. Oh, they won't deploy until slower down. It could get that ablation effect going up. I think it was a jet engine just to get ablation, then get to a certain point and the engine just went nope and cut out. I also, if anyone wants to suggest some workshop stuff, well, this game, this game doesn't have workshop. It has its own system. This game would be really good with Steam Workshop because the system it has is annoying. Like, I just want a system where I basically just hit subscribe and it downloads. I love Steam Workshop for that. Like, I have the Skyrim TARDIS mod, which I will show at some point. Since I'm so high up, I could probably just tell them to deploy. I don't like you can't just do that with mouse, that you have to use that. I think it actually, this is going to sound weird, I think it works with an Xbox controller, the throttle. I would need to double check that for you, but I'm almost certain it works with an Xbox controller. I'm also actually tested. I'm said it didn't work with Flight Stick. I'm not 100% sure on that fact. That might make an interesting video later. But I do have to dig out my Flight Stick. It's sitting under a pile of stuff there. I think it's actually sitting on the old steering wheel. People, just to let you know, that parachute wasn't there. That thing would probably be bucked. That's nice and balanced. I'm trying to keep the gears in until it slows it right down because... yes, we're on the thing. Because if I release them when it jerks, it could rip the gears off when they're deployed. This should be a successful landing. I should damage none of these batteries this time. See, I think that's why they're adding the recover vessel and all, is to... is possibly the fact that maybe when you have a budget, you'll have to worry about, I can't send too many out. Again, this was Kerbal Space Program. I'm not mentioning a price because Steam prices change so much. For an early access game, I will state again, this is more polished than some retail games. This is Date Gaming. Thank you for watching. Just finish by showing you this thing lands. It's not just boss. It landed perfectly. No damage to any parts. I'm sure if I go to... I would love to actually see the log of that flight to see if those things landed properly. I want to bring in a couple of these ones because I think that other one might be the one that's just on escape trajectory. This was my one that was just fucking way too powerful. One second, I'll pull up the art mat. I just want to show this one off quickly. That's its orbit. That thing will never see the light of day again. That's why I just want to turn off life support. I do love this that you can do stuff like that. I can do some stuff with the reaction wheels, but I don't have any thrust at all. For V. Just so that you know, because it's not explained properly, V is the thing to get out of it. That's just obstructed. He was a noble soldier. I wish you could add, do you know, like an emergency last measure button? Because I was going on a mission like that, well, there's a chance that, well, what happened to him could happen to me. I just want a button that I could press to go, right, I'm not spending a year suffocating or dying of starvation. A bit like, I can't remember the exact name of it, and I'm ashamed being a Hoovian, but I'm not a big fan of new stuff, even though I'm a big fan of Tenet. The collection of nukes under their surface, the Oswald Harkins system or something. That was the name of the key, I think. There's a series of nukes under the crust of the earth. It's not very good Davros episode, which I actually liked. It was one of, I think it was one of Tennant's last. Well, it was one of his last series anyway, that's right. He ended his life with the Master episode. Well, with one of them. I do sort of like the new Master. Sorry, I'm going off on a Who rant. You know, you should watch this doing stuff while I'm talking. I do like new Master. I love John Sam. I do like John Sam. I love him as an actor. I do think he's a very, very good actor. One actor I would actually like to see in Who more would be James Nesbitt. Either he would have been another person that probably would have been good for the Master. Then I love the bones of James Nesbitt too. I think he's a great actor, and I love James Nesbitt in Jackal. And I've got to stop plugging programs and actually end this video. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.